Hello everyone, welcome to Iman's Garden channel. Today's my video is gonna be about Vanda orchids. This video is mostly for the beginners. I was 3 years ago I was a beginner for this kind of orchid, and I learned something, and today I want to share with you what I learned. These orchids, they don't like to be planted. Don't ever try to plant them or to put in the glass vase. It's hard to take care of them when they are sitting in glass vase or they are planted, because you are a beginner and you don't know how to take care of them. That's why it's easy to keep them as is. They come in small baskets like this kind of plastic baskets, and they grow just like this. I tried to plant them when I was a beginner. I tried to plant them in clay pots. I just put them in a clay pots, and some of them I just put, and I wanted to see how it will grow, and it was hard to take care of that. Even it's not planted, it's hard. And when I planted in lava rocks, some of them I planted in the lava rocks, and it's also not good. It was not good for me. And I planted in bark medium, and I didn't like also. One of my vandas I lost because I experimented with that vanda a lot. I tried to plant it. I tried to put in a vase, glass vase, and that way it was bothered a lot and it died. Then the vandas which I didn't experiment it, and I left them alone, they were doing good. They were doing great. As you see, this orchid is my first orchid which I didn't experiment with this orchid, and see how it's growing. It's growing good, and it bloomed for me in winter time, and now it decided to bloom for me in summertime too. This orchid is making my eyes happy every time. And as you see, when I bought this orchid, when I bought it, it was this size, see? And look at this, it grew 3 times longer and healthier. When I got this orchid, when I didn't know how to take care of this orchid, the leaves, the upper leaves, they started becoming more smaller and smaller, as you see. Then when I did what I did, I fertilized it, and I started taking care of it. And when I learned how to take care of the vanda orchids, it started growing better. As you see, every time it grew bigger size leaves, see, bigger, and every time bigger. Now it's more bigger and longer, and it's pretty. These 2 orchids, this one and this one, they are same colors, they bloom same. This one is also yellow. It bloomed for me last year. This year it didn't bloom. And this one, it bloomed with 2 spikes. I got these orchids from Lowe's. It was on sale. I got them for $5 each 2 years ago. See, last year, this is last year's spike, the 2 years before spike, and this is last year's spike. And see, this year it's blooming with 2 spikes, and this orchid is very happy. I learned now how to take care of the vanda orchids, and here I have my vanda. which I experimented a lot. See, now it started doing great because I put back into this basket. I put it back, and that one, the small one is the baby of this orchid. I used to have this orchid. I used to have two of them, and the mother plant from that one died because I never water my Vanda orchids with tap water from the hose. And what I did, once I was lazy and I took hose and started watering them from the tap water, and the water it stayed in between leaves here, and it started killing my upper leaves, and that way I lost the upper part of that mother plant. And then it started growing that baby, the small baby, and the baby got this size. The mother plant died, and I threw away the mother plant. I separated the baby from the mother plant, and I put in a basket. I put in a basket maybe 2 months or months ago. I will show you how it's doing now. Look, it didn't have this much roots when I put it in the basket. See, it had few roots. When I put in a basket, it started growing these new roots. Look, even the root, it went through this hole, and it's going down. See, this is new root, and it's growing good. See, it has growing tips, pointed tips. It means that the roots are doing great and they're healthy. If they stop growing, let me show you, like this, it means they are not happy. You know, the roots are not happy. When the roots are happy, they grow and they have pointed tips like pencil. See, it has green tips. All of them, they have green tips. It means it's growing good. And see how the Vanda orchids, they love basket. They love to be hanged, and why they love to be hanged, I will tell you. Because these roots, they need air and they need moisture. When you keep in the pot, it's not enough air for these roots, and they don't like. They are different than the Phalaenopsis orchids and other type of orchids. These roots want to be on the air, not in the pot, not in a glass vase. I tried to to keep my some of my Vandas in glass vase like this, and I put it in a vase and I sprayed water sometimes, and I didn't have good success with this method too. And today I want to show you how to fertilize these orchids. Today is time to fertilize them. That's why I want to show you. I fertilize them maybe once in 2 weeks or every week. Depends how I have time, you know. It depends from my time. If I have time, I fertilize them every week, or if I don't have time, I fertilize them once in 2 weeks. It's okay if you fertilize them once in 2 weeks. And I want to tell you about the watering too. I don't water them often, because what I learned, when you water them often, they don't grow new roots. When they get thirsty, they push new roots and they start growing new roots. That's why I don't water them every day. Maybe I water them once a week or once in 5 days. It depends if I have time or not, you know. The now start, yeah. And you know how I know when it's time to water them? The roots become more thinner. Look at this orchid. It has thick roots, and when they want to drink, they become like this, you know, thinner, and that time you need to water them. Every day I don't water, but I water them once a week or once in 5 days. When they are inside the house, I water the same way. When they are inside the house, I don't keep them in water for a long time. Maybe maximum in half an hour I take out them from water. But outside, you can leave as much as you want, you know. For example, sometimes I put them in the water in night time and I take them out in the morning. Outside, it's okay. If you keep them when they are inside the house, if you keep them for a long time in the water, these pointed tips of the roots, they will die and they become like this, you know, like this. I don't know, inside the house it's different, outside is different. That's why outside you can keep as much as you want, but inside the house you have to be more careful. You give them, you put them in water for half an hour and it's enough for them to drink enough water, and the roots will keep the water, and slowly it will go to the plant, you know, and these roots, they keep water. In summertime I take them outside because outside they grow lots of roots, and with that roots they survive during the winter time. If they grow lots of roots, it's good. You know, this orchid, it grew these roots, all of these roots, this upper roots this year when I took it outside. These roots were with this orchid, but there's all these new roots. See how many roots it grew outside. If it's inside, it doesn't grow this much roots. Outside they grow lots of roots, they grow crazy. That's why I like to take them out in summertime. In wintertime, of course, they are inside the house on the windowsill. Now I will show you how I fertilize my Vanda orchids. If you watch my videos, you already know that I use these 3 ingredients, 3 fertilizers for my other orchids, and you know already how much I use and what I use. But if you are watching my video for the first time, these fertilizers I want to show you. These fertilizers are not sponsored by me, and I'm showing you these fertilizers because I love them. They give me great results. That's why I use them always. And let's start fertilizing my orchids. First, I take some water and I take my orchid fertilizer. I take 1 spoon from this fertilizer. I put in water. And this is Epsom salt. I just put in this dish from this Epsom salt. I take 1 spoon of Epsom salt, full spoon. I put in a water. And here is a Calmag. This is great fertilizer for all kind of plants. I use this for everything, for tomatoes, for plants, for flowers, for everything. I just put from this fertilizer in this bottle because it's comfortable to use. I don't add anything. I don't mix it with other things, with water or something. Just put in this bottle to use it easy. And now I take 2 spoons from Calmag. 2 spoons, pay attention. 1 spoon, 2nd spoon, and that's enough. And I mix it. Let me take something to mix it. I mix it. Usually I mix them in hot water, but now I didn't do. If you want, you can use hot water to dissolve this fertilizer. My son is telling me that I don't need to tell you hot water. He is telling to use warm water. It doesn't, you know, it's okay, because this much hot water, it's not gonna kill your plant. Because you mix with bucket of cold water. If it's winter, you make this water warm. It doesn't need to be extra cold. The temperature should be like, you know, what kind of water you use to wash your face, that much warm it's supposed to be. Now it's summer and the water is warm. It's outside. I took this water from my rain barrel. This is rain water. It's very good for plants. I use all the time for my plants rainwater. I have everywhere rain barrels around my house. And now I will take this one and show you how to put in a bucket. You know, it's easy. And I just put these roots in a bucket, just like this. I make sure that all the roots go inside the bucket and just leave it like this for maybe an hour or for 2 hours. And then I will take it out and I put all the rest of Vandas in the water by turn in this water. And this water I don't throw away. I use for other orchids. I have here on the table my dendrobium orchids. This dendrobium I separated from the mother plant last week, and see how it's doing great. Now it needs to be watered because the sphagnum moss is super dry, and I need to put water on this one. And I use this water for the other orchids which are inside the house. I have Phalaenopsis orchids and other kind of orchids. I use this water, and after them I use for other plants. You know, I have plumerias here, I have hibiscus plants, I have different kind of flowers, and I use this water. I never waste the fertilized water. While the orchid in the bucket drinking water, I want to show you my amaryllis. It's blooming. Amaryllis, they usually bloom in winter time. This one bloomed for me, and the flowers are dead now, and it decided to grow the second spike. See this one, and it's gonna bloom for me. This is third blooms. It bloomed for me in winter time, and now it's outside and it's blooming also. This water I wanna use for this amaryllis too after the orchids. After 30 minutes or about an hour, I take out this orchid and I put it back, and this way I water all my orchids by turn. This is what I wanted to share with you guys today. Thank you for watching. If you found this video beneficial for you, if you learned something, please put thumbs up, like this video, and be with me. Follow my videos. I hope you will learn a lot, because I share what works for you guys and what doesn't work for me, what didn't work for me, and from my mistakes I learn a lot, and that way I share with you my knowledge. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.